What if plain water, the thing every doctor tells you to drink more of, is quietly leaving your blood vessels half-fed after 60? After years spent reviewing the research on how daily habits shape the aging vascular system, here is what keeps showing up. The people who stay sharp and steady on their feet well into their 80s are almost never drinking plain water alone. They add one specific thing to it, and most doctors never mention it, because there is no prescription pad for a glass of water done right. After 60, your blood vessels naturally lose flexibility, and your body's own production of the molecule that keeps them relaxed and open declines by roughly half between your 40s and 70s. That single change is a major reason blood pressure creeps up, and short walks start feeling longer than they used to. Today, I am counting down 5 specific waters, each backed by published research, that may support healthier circulation and steadier blood pressure. Number 1 is the one most people walk past in the grocery store, and the research behind it genuinely surprised me. All studies mentioned are linked in the description below. Let's get into it. Number 5. Coconut water. Most people think coconut water is just a trendy sports drink. After 60, that assumption costs you a genuinely useful tool. As we age, the kidneys become less efficient at balancing sodium and potassium, and that balance is what lets your blood vessels relax properly. Think of sodium and potassium as 2 ends of a seesaw that gets stiff after 60. Coconut water is naturally rich in potassium, and unlike a pill, your body absorbs it easily. A clinical study with elderly hypertensive patients in Indonesia gave participants young coconut water daily and measured blood pressure before and after. Systolic pressure dropped by an average of 21 points, diastolic by roughly 10. It is a small study and larger trials are still needed, but the direction matches decades of research on potassium and blood pressure. Dorothy, 68, a retired nurse from Tampa, came to me frustrated with ankle swelling and readings creeping upward despite medication. We added 8 ounces of unsweetened coconut water each morning. 6 weeks later, her home readings had dropped enough that her doctor lowered her dosage. Use 8 ounces of raw, unsweetened coconut water in the morning, not the sugary flavored kind. Number 4 does something potassium alone cannot, and it starts working while you sleep. Number 4, Tart Cherry Water. Most people associate tart cherries with pie filling, not vascular health. But if inflammation, joint stiffness, or restless nights are part of your life after 60, this one was built for you. Tart cherries are among the richest natural sources of anthocyanins, deep red pigments that calm systemic inflammation. Think of inflammation as a low, constant fire under your blood vessel walls. Anthocyanins act like a damper on that fire, and when it cools, your vessels stop stiffening. A randomized controlled trial followed adults between 65 and 80 who drank tart cherry juice daily for 12 weeks. By the end, their C-reactive protein, the blood marker for inflammation, had dropped by roughly 25% versus the group that did not drink it. Frank, 72, a former mechanic from Cleveland, had knee pain so persistent he had stopped his evening walks and was sleeping barely 5 hours a night. We added 2 tablespoons of tart cherry concentrate into 8 ounces of water each evening. 6 weeks later, Frank was walking again and sleeping closer to 6.5 hours. Use 2 tablespoons of unsweetened tart cherry concentrate in 8 ounces of water each evening. Number 3 works through a completely different pathway, and most people have never heard it connected to blood flow at all. Number 3. Pomegranate water. Most people think of pomegranate as a holiday garnish. After 60, it is one of the more thoroughly studied fruits for vascular health, and the research goes back over 2 decades. Pomegranate is rich in punicolagens, compounds that help protect and maintain the endothelium, the smooth inner lining of your blood vessels. Think of it as the smooth inner coating of a pipe. When it stays smooth, blood moves freely. When it roughens with age, resistance builds. In a controlled trial of healthy adults, daily pomegranate juice significantly lowered systolic blood pressure over 4 weeks. In a longer study of patients with existing carotid artery narrowing, 1 year of daily pomegranate juice reduced artery wall thickness by as much as 30%, while blood pressure fell by roughly 12%. A broader review of published trials found consistent, modest improvements in blood vessel function, even though results vary somewhat between studies, which is normal in real science. Eleanor, 66, a choir director from Savannah, had noticed her stamina fading mid-rehearsal. She added 4 ounces of unsweetened pomegranate juice into 8 ounces of water each afternoon. 2 months later, she was finishing full rehearsals without sitting down. Use 4 ounces of 100% pomegranate juice, no added sugar, diluted into water daily. Number 2. Hibiscus water. That deep crimson flower you may have seen dried in tea blends is hibiscus, and the research behind it deserves far more attention than it gets. A review of 26 clinical trials and nearly 1,800 participants found hibiscus tea reduced systolic blood pressure by about 7 points versus placebo, with the strongest effects in adults over 50. Its organic acids act somewhat like a natural, milder version of a common blood pressure medication class. Walter, 74, a retired postal worker from Sacramento, was on 2 blood pressure medications and dreading a third. We added 2 cups of unsweetened hibiscus water daily. 10 weeks later, his cardiologist held off on the 3rd medication. Steep 2 to 3 tablespoons of dried hibiscus flowers in 8 ounces of hot water for 5 to 7 minutes, then cool. If you already take blood pressure medication, check with your doctor first, since the combined effect can be potent. Now, the one I teased at the beginning. Number 1. Beetroot water. Beetroot dissolved in water is, based on the published research, the most consistently studied vascular tonic on this list. And most people walk past it in the produce section. Here is the mechanism. Beetroot is the richest common dietary source of nitrates. Bacteria on your tongue convert those nitrates into nitrites, and your bloodstream converts those into nitric oxide, the molecule that relaxes and widens your blood vessels. Think of nitric oxide as the oil that keeps a hinge moving freely. A randomized, placebo-controlled study gave healthy older adults, average age 63, beetroot juice daily for 4 weeks. Systolic blood pressure dropped by roughly 6 points, diastolic pressure dropped by roughly 4 points, and a direct measurement of blood vessel flexibility improved as well. A separate 12-week study in postmenopausal women found measurable improvement in arterial stiffness using pulse wave velocity, considered the gold standard for measuring how flexible your arteries are. Patricia, 70, a retired school teacher from Denver, had stopped gardening because 30 minutes on her feet left her winded and lightheaded. We added 1 to 2 teaspoons of beetroot powder stirred into 8 ounces of water 90 minutes before her most active part of the day. 8 weeks later, she was back in her garden most mornings, and her follow-up appointment showed her blood pressure solidly in a healthier range. Pair your beetroot water with a source of vitamin C, like a slice of orange or a few strawberries, which research suggests helps the nitric oxide your body produces last longer in the bloodstream. And one practical note, beetroot can turn urine or stool reddish. That is harmless pigment, not blood, so please do not panic if you see it. 5 waters. 5 pathways to the same goal. Blood vessels that stay open and strong. None of these replace your medication or your doctor's guidance. But they are real, published research-backed tools, sitting quietly in the grocery store, waiting for you to notice them. This video is for educational and informational purposes only, and is not intended as medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. Always consult your physician before making changes to your diet, medications, or health routine.